Good morning, sir.
Good morning. I couldn't hear you before.
Oh, that'd be awful for
I beat you.
you and others.
I beat you this time.
Take these off. Hold on now. Super Bowl champions. That must be an old shirt.
Oh yeah, still good though.
Still good.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice to see you. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. I got my list of things to do today. You'll see these already checked off, the highlights. One of those involved shoveling off the cars and moving them to the street so our plow guy can come clear the driveway. We had some snow overnight. Not much, 3 inches, another couple happening this morning, but feels wintry for March
Oh,
4th, 5th, 4th.
fourth. Yes, I was going to ask you. We just finished with February. How many months have 28 days?
All of them.
Very nice. Boom. Not everybody knows that one.
Oh, yeah, baby. I've had one cup of coffee already. What do you think about this new coffee mug?
Beautiful. So it's 79 degrees here today.
So much for the coffee mug. 79 degrees. Nice.
Yeah. Let me see it again.
Already?
Let me see that mug again. I wasn't paying attention.
You weren't. I couldn't
Oh,
tell. Isn't that lovely?
oh, it's beautiful.
If you see behind me the new kitchen walls, there's a very faint blue to it, and this works nicely. I'm not sure it matches this so well, but they're also a little big and they're comfortable to hold. I like my new mug.
So you're doing your driveway today, yeah?
I'm not. I got a guy who shows up with a plow who does it, but I get the cars out of the way so he can have his area.
So you're
So I
not.
just swept him off and got him out to the street, and now he'll come do his thing.
So
So
he's going to plow the thing, or is he going to redo your driveway?
no, no, no. He just comes and plows all the snow and stuff.
Oh, that's
Really
nice.
heavy, heavy, wet snow today.
That's nothing though. That's no big deal.
No, not for you who lives in Florida. So
So when I lived in Leominster, Massachusetts,
I remember.
and I was the manager at the Ford store there in Leominster, and whenever it snowed, I'd grab one of the
Oh,
I'd grab one of the trucks over there with a plow, and I'd go to my house and plow the driveway.
oh, smart.
Smart,
Was
yeah.
that okay? Was that on the up and up, or was that a little shady?
It wasn't on the up and up initially because nobody knew, but then once they found out, they said it's okay.
It's funny. I live across the street from a car dealership.
Yeah.
Well, it's right there. And car dealerships have a lot of work to do when it snows because they got to clear every car on the lot, don't they?
So let me tell you something. I came to Florida on vacation in December one time with the kids and stuff.
Mm.
And then when I went back in January, there was four major storms, snowstorms. And when you have 250 cars in the lot, you have to clean the cars off. You know, I used to have these like a broomstick with a square thing that was styrofoam or something to push the snow off without scratching the cars.
Right, like a squeegee edge and get it all off. Right.
So we'd have to do that, and I'd have to move the cars to one side and then plow all that, then bring all the cars back to the other side and plow all that, and then we have to get the cars all lined up again because they have to be, boom, 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 boom. So it was like an all day thing sometimes, while out
I
there.
bet.
And then we had five of those things. I'm sorry, four major storms. So then one day it was really, really cold, and I was, and those things were getting kind of beat up a little bit. And I used to get it from a guy's, some company over in Detroit, Michigan. He said, I'm going to go see if we can order some of these. 'Cause these things can get kind of beat up a little bit. So I called the number, and the number, there was a recording that said the number has been changed to 305 something, something, something. So it's like a Florida number. I said, what the heck? So the guy on the phone says, hey, what are you doing? He says, well, I says, I need to order some more of these things, but I see you're not in Michigan anymore. You still doing these things? He goes, yeah, here's what I found out. I could build these in Florida a lot cheaper and still sell them all over the country, and I don't have to be there in that snow. I said, you son of a bee, you know what I mean?
Was
So,
this the first seed that was planted for you for your move years later?
well, I had my brother-in-law live here in Florida already, and Terry always wanted to come down, so we came down on vacation, and it was December, and it was beautiful. The weather was nice.
Hmm.
But she talked about it all the time on the way up. We should move to Florida. So I said, yeah, well, eventually, when we're still young. But then after those about five storms before that was big, I went home. I said, listen, I'm going to put the house on the market. We're going to go to Florida. She goes, what? I says, yeah. She goes, you sure? Yes, I'm absolutely sure. So we put the market on the thing, and I actually, we had on the house on the contract. I actually came to Florida first, find a place to live and, job and all that stuff.
Right, right.
And then I went up to get them. It was just cool. I mean, I just decided, screw this. I'm not going to do this anymore.
Isn't it funny how it just like you just were done and something pushed you over? Like I just had this conversation this week, but Tony Robbins calls it like stepping over the threshold. Like when we make decisions or we set goals, like that's it. And you stepped over that threshold and said, "Forced, this is it, done. We're out of here."
Yeah.
And you've been in Florida for how many years ago?
31 years.
30? No, that's not true.
Yes, it is.
What? You moved to Florida 31 years ago?
I came down in June of 1991. Do the math.
That's going to be 32 years this June.
Yeah, in June.
If I didn't stop like to think about it and do some math, I would have said, yeah, they moved down here 10 or 12 years ago. 32 years. Wow.
Amazing, isn't it?
Yes.
And still, even still now, like in the winter, when I go outside, like today, it's 79 degrees, right? I still say to myself, man, this is so cool. I'm so glad I live. You know what I mean?
That's nice.
I got my shorts on, my winter shorts.
Winter shorts, it's March.
Oh, yeah.
So let me ask you this question, because it's morning, it's 9 or so, and just already 79 degrees.
Yeah.
Is that unseasonably warm for this time of year? I mean, I would expect that in July or August, but is that?
Oh, July and August it's warmer than that.
My niece and nephew were in Florida last week, and they were talking about how hot it was. And as you know, and as our viewership knows, because we've been talking about, actually, maybe we shouldn't talk about that. Anyway, we got something planned for the next podcast.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome. So,
but I'm shocked it's that warm this early in the day.
I don't know. You might remember I have this guy that is a friend of mine that is a high-tech computer tech guy, and he had a radio show on Saturday mornings where him and two guys, people would call in with questions about stuff, and they would give them stuff over the phone.
Wow.
On a show. So when it was brand new, one day, he says to me, "Hey Tony, we got this new show. You wouldn't mind listening to it and maybe call in because we don't have any, we're just brand new, so we don't have any callers. Would be nice to have a caller or something." I listened to it for a while, and they were talking about how to back up your hard drive, right? So
sounds like an important thing to do. I've heard that.
So I called up and I said, "Your name?" I says, "Yeah, Tony the Italian, okay? I got to talk to Shane about this hard drive thing." So he gets on the phone and says, "Hello." He says, "Hey, Shane, this is Tony the Italian." At first he didn't know it was me, though. So, I've been listening to you guys talking about the hard drive and the backing up the hard drive. You guys don't know nothing about that stuff. Let me tell you, I was over at Vito's house the other night. We had some Sambuca and some in the set and stuff. When I was trying to back up on the drive, that was a hard drive to back up that hard drive. He was laughing. The guys were laughing at this show, right? So then he still didn't know it was me. So the following week, I would listen to what they're talking about in the show, and I'd call up with Tony the Italian. And then he had a Christmas party at his house, so he invited me. I went, and by then he already knew that was me. So the guy that was from, I can't think of it now, but it was the cable company that sponsored his show. It was a local thing, and he introduced me to the president of the company. And then Shane says, "This is the guy that calls in. You remember you asked me about the guy that calls in, Tony the Italian? This is him." He goes, "That's you?" He said, "You're funny. I'm so glad you called. Please keep calling every day, every week. It's all, you lighten up the whole show, right?"
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
That's funny because now their listenership is probably waiting to hear from you.
So now Shane, the guy that was doing the show, I ran into him yesterday. He says, "Hey Tony, I've been listening to your comedy podcast." I said, "It's not really a comedy podcast. It's a podcast with a little humor in there." He goes, "No, that's a thing. When can I get on there? How do I get on there so I can do some jokes with you guys?" I said, "Well, I can have you as a guest, but it's not a comedy show. It's two guys talking about stuff, and then I have a good sense of humor. Mike does too, so we throw some stuff in there. But he's all excited. So he's showing me, his wife said, show him some of your shows, your jokes. So he pulls out his wallet, he has a picture of his pride and joy, which he got from me.
Sure.
And he told me 3 or 4 different jokes, and all of them,
I
the
just had
dial
a great
tone,
idea. I just had a great idea for the pride and joy. Go ahead, continue. I didn't mean to cut you off.
dial tone, he stole down from me. You know my dial tone, right?
Uh,
So one day Terry and I were at the West Shore Mall, and she's walking over to a store, and there was a Verizon wireless store. We're
yep.
outside trying to, bring people in to, sell some business. So the guy says, "Hey, who you got your business with?" I said, "Well, first I already have a phone with you guys, but let me tell you something. I'm not happy at all. I came in because my dial tone was stuck, and you guys didn't fix it. It's still here, it's still stuck." He says, "The dial tone? What do you mean?" So I pulled it up and I showed it to him. It's a bottle of dial and
Soap and tone, whatever. Yeah.
yeah. So the two of them were laughing like crazy. One guy says, "Well, cell phones don't have dial tone." So I did show it to him again. He says, "Oh, no, I get it." So they said, "Hey, go show the manager over there. He'll love that." So I walk in and I said to the guy, "Hey, listen, talk to your guys." And I did. They told me to come in and show you a picture. Not show you shit. Not show. I'm sorry, not show a picture. They came in to see you because you guys messed up my phone. And now my dial tone is stuck. He says, "Your dial tone is stuck? What do you mean?" So I showed him the picture. He goes, "Oh my God." He says, "I already saw that this morning in the blog thing." I said, "What blog?" He says, the technician guy." So what happened is Shane, the one that
Yeah.
he put it on the blog for the text reference, so everybody's spreading it all over the place.
So this guy, I've already seen it that morning from Shane's blog from that other show, and now you're talking to him. It's a small world. Oh my
So
God.
Shane called me one time because he was having a birthday party at his house. He says, "Hey man, can you come?" I says, "Yeah, sure." He says, "I need you to do some comedy. My guys said I told them that you're really funny, and they're expecting to have you." I says, "Okay." So I went over there, and I did about 15 minutes of comedy. Actually, stand-up comedy in his place. And then I showed some of those stupid jokes that I do, and he wanted them all because he says, "Man, I gotta have those." And then he took one of mine and he put it on the blog.
I
Real nice
love it.
guy, though. Real nice guy.
What's funny about that joke is the term dial tone. As our population ages, that word is going away.
Well, even the tech guys that are tech guys now, like the guys that sell phones and stuff, they say, they don't.
Like the young guys, like my kids are going to be 30 next month,
Wow.
and they don't. I mean, they might know what a dial tone is just because they're intelligent kids, but they've never experienced like dial or busy. Remember busy signals?
Yeah, I know. Huh?
Busy signal. That's a cool name for a song.
So I think I already told you.
I'll write that down. I got a funny story for you about writing a new song. Go ahead.
I told you I joined the improv group, right?
Yes.
And then I don't know if I told you this or not. I was talking to my son that lives in Norway, and my sons, both of them have a good sense of humor. I don't know where they got that from. Must
Their
have been,
mother.
must have been Terry or something. But anyway, I just joined an improv group, and we're texting. We're not talking. We're actually texting. So I says I just joined an improv group. But when I typed it in, and how sometimes it fixes your words if you don't spell them right or something.
Yeah.
Instead of improv, it said I joined an improve group.
Oh, you're texting, so it auto corrected you. Yeah.
Yeah. So now, when I saw that there was a mistake, I says, "Oops, I meant to say improve." And he replies, "Dad, maybe you should go with the improv group because you'll improve better on that one." I says, "Wow."
You join an improv group, you probably
Oops, wrong button.
if you join an improv group, you'll probably get better.
That's what he said.
Oh, that's funny.
So the improv thing, they have these things that they tell you to do, and they put two people up there, and you're supposed to do this stuff. So I've never done that before. You know me, I can tell jokes all day long, but I didn't know how to.
Yeah. I bet you're good at this though, because it takes kind of a quick wit. I bet you're good.
So when I was a little tied in, one of the things I was supposed to do, I didn't know what to do. I said, "Listen, if you were riding a canoe down the railroad tracks, how many pancakes would it take to shingle a doghouse?" And the girl looked at me like, I says, "Regular pancakes, like regular dog, like a Lassie or something. Everybody else in the room was laughing, and she's like, "Huh?" Because it didn't match up with what we were supposed to be talking about.
Oh, that's funny. That doesn't match up with anything.
If you're riding a canoe down the railroad tracks, how many pancakes would it take to shingle a doghouse? A regular
Where'd
size
you
dog
come
like a
up?
Lassie.
Where did you come up with that? You've been saying that forever. I've never heard that from
It's
you.
one of those things I've done. Yeah, it's just when somebody tries to stump me or something, I have to say something that stumps them instead. Oh yeah.
So I actually literally just wrote down busy signal because it was cool. I was talking to our friend Ron last week. In fact, it was Wednesday over in Jupiter. And I don't know what we were talking about, but the term came up, dead in a ditch. And so I said, man, that's a great name for a song. And we had band rehearsal that night. So Marco shows up first, Lynn's downstairs, so everyone's saying hello over in the kitchen around the island. And then Barry shows up. I said, well, we got to write a new song tonight. And I've already got a title. And they go, what's it called? And I said, Dead in a Ditch. So we've never written a song based upon a title ever.
Right.
But it was really cool because, I mean, we got this title. So Dead in a Ditch inspires some sort of visual to that. And we start thinking about it. It's going to be probably a little dark. And we wrote this really cool tune that night. And off of a title first, which is even funnier that we're an instrumental band. But it was an interesting experience. And so now we have it. I record everything in my cell phone, so we have it fully arranged. It needs to get polished, and it's just funny how we collaborate too. There was this. I got a bunch of work to do in the studio. I was playing this little drum riff between songs. I have this drum book in front of me on a music stand, and I'm playing these 2-bar measures. And there was this one that was very busy bass drum. And Barry's like, hey, that's pretty cool. This is a year ago. And I'm like, I think so too. Let's do something with it. So we wrote this song and we called it Page 29, because that was the page in the book where my drum riff came from. And it never really became a full song. We never played it live. It didn't really evolve in a way that we were thrilled. And a year later, this past Wednesday, here we are writing this song, Dead in a Ditch. And we're into this next piece of it. And Barry's like, you know, it would go great here, that drum part from Page 29. I'm like, so it's just this cool collaboration of the three brains. And I go, oh man, you're right. But let me tell you, the speed at which I have to play it now for this Dead in the Ditch song is ridiculous.
Oh.
And I literally can't play it right now. But I said, okay, I'm up for the task. I got to get into the studio and get working on this because it's a very fast bass drum foot. But it was fun to do.
Oh.
And then, so this is crazy week. I got a call yesterday. I was in a sales meeting yesterday morning, and I get a phone call on my phone from a guy who works in service for this company. I thought, oh, this might be something I got to take. So I get up, excuse myself from the sales meeting. I walk out of the room. There's a dozen of us in there, and I answer the phone. I'm like, hey, what's up? My friend Jake. And he goes, hey, how's it going? I'm like, good. What's going on? And he says, I got a friend of mine who called me today asking me if I know a drummer. And this guy is kind of a single acoustic guy on a stool. And, you see him at all the restaurants and the breweries, the guy doing his acoustic thing. Well, it turns out he needs a drummer for one gig. And I told him I knew you. I said, I'd love to talk to him. So I got a call yesterday afternoon from this guy, AJ, and he's telling me it's him and another guitar player. And it's kind of a cool gig. So right downtown Worcester, the DCU Center, which used to be the Centrum, huge, 12,000 seat arena. And right next door to it, there's this fairly new club called Off the Rails, which I've not been to, but a bunch of friends have, and they love this place. Really nice, big stage. They have these big garage doors that open up, and it's not a country club, but there's a lot of country themed music there pretty regularly. So there's a big country star who is playing the DCU Center in Worcester on Saturday, May 12th. And AJ and his buddy Nate, the two guitar players, have this gig they need a drummer for, and they are playing a pre-concert party at this club from 4:30 till 6:30, and then a post-concert party at the club from 10:30 till 1 o'clock in the morning. And he's talking to me. I'm like, yeah, are you just looking for because it's kind of country themed. I said, you're looking for a guy to hold down a 4/4 beat for your country music? He said, yeah. I go, I can do that.
Yeah.
And so we haven't met yet, but he emailed me a set list, and I've been listening, and We're going to start rehearsing, and it's going to be a one-off night, but it should be a ton of fun. And the club is cool. And we'll see what happens. You never know how things go, but it was a cool call to get. But now I got to learn all these songs. I was listening to a few of them driving around yesterday, and it's like, I mean, I've always believed I'm a better drummer for original music because I'm not trying to learn someone else's parts, and it allows more creativity versus I got to figure this out. But sometimes figuring it out is just building my skill set. So I'm looking forward to it. It should be fun.
Did you watch that video I sent you with Mike Portnoy with all those?
Yeah.
Unbelievable, wasn't it? Wow.
It was cool. It was interesting that at the end of that, it's an 8 or 10 minute video, and he's doing all those things beautifully. And really, at the end, it was a promotion for the Winery Dogs tour. Oh, yeah. And we just saw them last Saturday night. And man, was that powerful. It was a great concert. Small little venue down in Connecticut, 500 seats, and there's a balcony. And I didn't realize it. Lynn and I went with our friends Dave and Pam, our Get the Let Out friends. I told you about them. They're awesome. And so I got these tickets, but I didn't realize it. We were first row in the balcony. And so the seats were incredible. I mean, you're looking, it's a small venue anyway, and the music was crazy cool. And maybe the most fun part for me was watching how much fun the band was having, because they're finally back on tour after all this COVID and the craziness, and they were having a blast. Awesome. And yeah, they're going to be in Florida. I would catch them if I were you. They're going to spend most of the year on the road and just promoting this new album, and it's really good stuff. It's a fun show.
I was watching some stuff yesterday on King's X. Cool.
Man.
I ran across this video of Metallica playing in Moscow, in Russia. And the claim is that there was 1.6 million people there. I've never seen anything like that. It was unbelievable. It's like just a sea of people.
1.6. I once played to 16 people. That was pretty cool. But 1.6 million.
You know what I was thinking? I was thinking it's interesting. Like I saw them doing that in Mexico too, Mexico City. So they're singing these songs, their songs, and then they get to a point where they stop and he puts the microphone out to the people, and they're all singing the songs, the lyrics and everything in English. Everybody's singing. I'm like, what the heck? They don't speak English, but they know the lyrics of the song.
Right.
And then I have a friend. I think I told you about him. He's a guitar player, but he's also a drummer. So years ago, when we didn't have a drummer from Oyster Bone because my regular drummer played in a different band too, so sometimes he had other gigs. So he would come in and sit in with us, and he was really good.
Yeah.
And we're playing at this private party outside in a pool, a house with a big pool backyard. And we were playing Breaking the Law, right? And then the bass player's wife came and said, hey, guys, stop. She goes, stop. You guys are breaking the law. The police are out front saying you have to shut down. I says, what? What do you mean shut down? She says, well, there's a curfew. I says, well, bring them over. I want to talk to them. So they come over and says, so you telling us we need to shut down or we could just turn it down? He goes, well, you can turn it down, but if we have any more calls,
we'll be back.
if we're going to have the calls that's too loud, then we have to shut you down. I said, well, you guys just made it. I don't know if you knew what song we were playing. We're playing Breaking the Law, and you come over here and trying to tell us to shut down. They were laughing like crazy. But that guy, my friend, the guitar player that was our drummer,
yep.
He asked me one day, so what do you have for a rig now? I'm not playing with the Oyster Bone anymore. Says, what do you have for a rig? It made me think of that time you were talking to Joe, your friend Joe. And Joe was asking me, what's your rig? I said, I can't explain. I'm going to have to send you a photo.
And you sent the picture.
Remember that? Yeah.
I think as a drummer, I could not fully appreciate that, but any guitar player is rolling on the floor laughing at that.
So I showed this to my friend there when he asked me what the rig was. I don't know if you can see it on there or not, but.
Oh my God. Awesome. Look at you standing next to that.
Everything's like, I stacked everything up like a rig, Up at the top is an iPod.
It's funny when you just said playing this, backyard around a pool gig. I always think of two things. The first one is I remember playing in a backyard. We got invited. I was playing in a cover band years ago, but police showed up, But the second thing I think of, which is a great transition to our next topic, because I can't believe we took this long to get to it, was let's see, that would have been '08. Extreme put out that album Sauvage de Rock and that song King of the Ladies.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And they had a great music video in Hudson in that backyard with the pool. It's a great fun summer tune.
Oh yeah.
And I just loved at the end that Kevin got taken away in handcuffs by the police. And that's 15 years ago. However, 15 years later, I got it right up. I got it right here. Hang on.
Oh,
Boom,
yeah.
there's the cover.
That is so awesome, isn't it?
New Extreme album, Extreme 6, coming out June 9th, and they dropped this single this week, Rise. Wow,
It's amazing.
this is a cool tune.
The intro with the riff on the guitar, just so different than the other stuff that they've done. I loved it. The thing
It's I've been listening to it a lot, and Barry, my friend and bass player in Stillface, and these guys aren't huge Extreme fans like I am, but he sent me through text the official music video that goes with this, which I'd already seen, but I think I heard the song probably 4 or 5 times before I watched the video. And he sent me the video, not knowing I had it, and he said, "Modern Extreme, I'm really digging this." And he's not a fan. I mean, he's not a big fan. And I mean, you can appreciate the musicianship, but I thought it was such a perfect word to describe it as modern because not that they've changed their sound or who they are, but it's got a modern feel. The guitar tones, it just I got that one verse where Gary's got the kind of the distorted vocals on, kind of reminded me of his side project from years ago, Tribe of Judah. But man, it's just a well-constructed rock tune. It's just driving and having fun, and then Nuno goes off, and it so fits the song, and it's just awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I think everyone's pumped for the album.
It is
But that was
awesome.
fun. Rise, Extreme Rise.
I thought about when Sammy Hagar's rock and roll road trip when he was
That
in.
was 3 or 4 years ago. I was thinking the exact same thing because he was blown away.
Yeah, he was talking to Nuno and Gary up there on the fifth floor where the pool is. The pool is on the fifth floor outside,
Yeah.
and they listened. They played some of the songs from the new album for him. He says, "Man, this stuff is unbelievable. What you guys have here. This is better than the stuff you've done up till now."
Yeah.
You know, Sammy Hagar
Yeah.
was saying that, and he didn't have to say that if it wasn't real.
No.
He thought it was real. Yeah, that song is amazing.
And the video, which is on YouTube, I'd probably search, I don't know, Sammy, Gary, and Nuno, and you'll find it. That was Sammy's road trip, wherever that show is. It's about a 20-minute segment. But in that, he's in the studio, and as they go to play some stuff, they have this banner across that says, "For Sammy's ears only," and it's muted for us. I wonder now
That was one of the
if
songs.
if they went back in that video and changed the video because now we know the song, or as the album comes out, I wonder if they would take that. That's interesting, right?
Right, yeah. Wow.
But of course, behind that, there's going to be a big tour. So it's going to, I mean, I love seeing them live. It's a ton of fun, but new stuff. It's awesome.
So 2 years ago, I saw over here in Clearwater, Sammy Hagar with the Circle, I think it's called.
Oh, yeah.
So, and he was like, I think 78 years old or something. He just rocked, man. I was like,
Oh, it's amazing.
the guy's amazing, yeah.
Yeah, it really is. It's funny because growing up, all of our heroes and idols and all the rock stars we looked up to and listened to their music were always way older than us. And as we aged, shockingly, they aged. And it was weird years ago to think about like our rock star celebrity idols are in their 50s or who's turning 60. And now that we all are, these guys are in their 70s and turning 80. And it's just like it's crazy. And of course, some are passing away, which is sad, but it's just kind of that whole, I don't know, full circle piece. It's cool.
Wow.
Sammy Hagar.
Ah,
Wow. So we got a new single from Extreme. So the album's June 9th, which is months away. I don't know if they're gonna, drop another single next month or, leading up to it. I guess every band does it differently, but it's fun to hear. We've been talking about this, you and I, for years, waiting for this. So, and everybody else has too, who are fans and follow this. So it's fun for all of us.
yeah. So the improv thing, I go to the improv with hold on, let me get rid of this out of the way. Screw you. With my friend Mike Posey, which is the guy that I did the first podcast with.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that.
Yeah, so then now he was a comedian in California. He was doing stand-up comedy, and he was then really involved in an improv group.
Mike was?
Yeah. So he
Hmm.
knows all the things and stuff. So that's why he's the one that invited me to go to that. And I was talking to him the other day. I says, I didn't know what all that stuff. So that's why he says, when you did that thing about the railroad tracks, he says everybody in the room would just die laughing because of what you did. It had nothing to do with what you're supposed to be talking about, but it was funny because that's the way you are. You're just funny. He says, yeah, I'm funny looking, but that's not that important. But anyway, he's telling me that he says you got to keep doing that because it's awesome the way you do it. He says, well, I have to learn some of that stuff because they give you the scenario to work on, and some of that stuff I'm just not familiar. But I can be funny, but it's just weird.
How often does this group meet? And you've joined, you're going to be going back.
Yeah, it's every Tuesday.
So it's a weekly thing. I think you're going to find yourself, uh, first of all, enjoying it, but also being a big addition to this group because it seems to me, I've never been to stuff like this, but I have friends who've done this, and it seems like you need to have a quick wit to play. And you do. I think it's going to be a good fit for you.
Yeah, I was gonna do it for a while, just to see what it'll do for me. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
If it's just to go there every Tuesday and do something and have a little fun, it's okay too.
I suspect that's how it'll probably start. Maybe it stays right there, but
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. And of course, what it can do for you, but what you can bring to them. You know, I was thinking about that recently in terms of, what you were so like, acts of service. Like I heard somebody once say, lose yourself in the act of giving yourself away to other people in terms of how you can serve other people.
Right, right,
I
right.
came across this quote this week. You're going to find this interesting. The quote is, I have one life and one chance to make it count for something. My faith demands that I do whatever I can, wherever I am, whenever I can, for as long as I can, with whatever I have to try to make a difference.
Wow.
You know who said that?
Ooh,
Jimmy Carter.
really?
Yeah. And Jimmy Carter is 98 years old. And just last week, with his family, put himself onto hospice. So hospice is all about end of life care and staying out of pain, but it also means that the end is imminent in almost every case. And what? Not to bring the politics to it, because who really cares? But I think most people say this is a guy with a generous heart, and he's the one behind the entire Habitat for Humanity,
Oh yeah, no, I know.
which is such a powerful movement. So I saw that, and I thought that's a cool thing.
So
Thought I'd bring it up on the podcast.
in the 70s, you just made me think of that. I wish I had kept it, but I didn't keep it. We used to have these bongs that we'd smoke stuff from. We'd put some water in there.
No idea what you're talking about. But
So I had a bong that was like shaped like a peanut. You know how a peanut crust or whatever.
yeah.
So it was like shaped like that. It looked like a peanut, the same. And the bottom of it had Jimmy Carter's face. So when the guys would come up, I said, guys, we got to salute the president. Come on. I wish I had saved it because it's probably worth tons of money now because
So here I am talking about Jimmy Carter's generous heart hospice, this beautiful quote about service to other people, and you got a bomb at Jimmy Carter's face on it.
it was
Which
funny.
reminds me of his crazy brother, Billy. Remember Billy Beer?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. I bet somebody out there watching has a 6-pack of Billy Beer in cans still full, thinking it's
Oh,
going to be
still,
worth
yeah,
some
of
money.
course, yeah. Billy Beer, wow.
Wow. Talk
That's
about
crazy.
hopping on a bandwagon, Billy Beer. Here's the president with all these acts of service, and his brother's like riding his coattails, making beer and making a fortune.
Wow, crazy.
Oh, well, just shows you there's always going to be leaders and there's always going to be followers.
There's a
Pick
place,
wisely.
not too far away from me that's like a pizza house, right? So
Is it
Sam
good
says, hey,
pizza?
there's some kind of order something, we pick it up. I said, sure. So she says, well, look at this. I says, well, where's the what do they have? The menu or whatever. So she shows it to me, and they have these pizza bowls.
Pizza bowl.
I never heard that. So if you want a pepperoni pizza or whatever, they can do it without the bread and just put it in a bowl.
Hmm. Wouldn't that be soup?
No, no, but it's so I ordered the pepperoni pizza bowl.
Yeah.
It was freaking awesome.
So there's no bread, there's no dough in it. It's just pepperoni and sauce and
Just the,
cheese,
just the toppings, yeah.
carb free. I like that.
It was pretty cool actually. It was really good.
I'd like to try that. Maybe someday we can make that happen together.
Uh-huh.
Mm,
You might have, they might have up north somewhere, somebody might have it, but if not, it's close to my house. We can go get a bowl, pizza bowl.
all right. I'd like that idea. We'll see if we can make that work. Can we go get a beer over at Silver King Brewing Company?
We can, but see, the thing with Silver King, if it's a nice bar. That building used to be the police station
Yeah, I remember.
and the fire station.
I don't remember. I remember you telling me. I've never seen it yet.
So where the bar is used to be the police station. Then there's this room in between that was the jail,
Hmm.
and then you have the thing with the three garage doors, the big thing, which is with all the beer
Yeah.
thing. That's with the stage. That's where we played. But it's not unless there's no band there. There's not going to you go there and look at it. There's not like a thing. So they open the doors up, the three garage doors and stuff. Really
Well, I
cool.
like a band. I also like a beer. And if you can combine the two, I guess it's better.
Worth it, yeah.
I mean, you can pretty much have a beer without a band, but it's probably difficult to have a band without a beer. Just saying, right?
Right. And then
As I was saying about band and beer, so what I got to do today, I've got this long list. My goodness, I'm excited about this. Um, I have to make a playlist of all these country tunes I got to learn, and there's like 40 of them, and this is just the start. And so I'm pretty pumped, but there's a little anxiety around this. There's a lot to learn.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm psyched to meet a couple new guys. They're local and come to my house for rehearsal here because I got the space.
You'll be fine.
And I suspect, based on my buddy Jake's age, I got a couple of years on Jake. That these guys, I probably have a couple of years on them too. I don't know. I might wear a bandana just to cover the silver, Silver King
Bada boom, bop.
Brewing Company. I should start a no.
So this one's getting close to the end, this meeting here, but when we do the next one, it can go as
What
long
do you
as
want to do? How should we do it? What do you want to do? You want to do something different next time?
yeah.
All right, I'm up for that.
You gotta be on Florida. I'm in Florida, so maybe we can just get together and do it together. So we're not doing it on two different screens. We'll be just one screen, and we control how long we want to do it for because nobody's
Because
controlling.
we're so next episode, Zoom is no longer a sponsor. Is that what you're saying?
Right, right, yeah.
That's extra room for cross country mortgage then.
Oh, you know,
And Silver, so is Silver King still a sponsor, or have they? No, we're not loving them anymore. Say no more. I got that.
I mean, they had nothing to do with it, but still, it feels like it's part of it.
Listen, there's lots of places we can go get a beer down there. It doesn't have to be that place.
Oh yeah.
Screw them. Plus, I need a pizza bowl.
So when you coming down?
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
I'll be in Orlando Wednesday afternoon. Between Orlando and you is Lakeland, where my son is. So I'll be seeing him a lot because he's pretty much done with work in the golf world by 2-ish, 2 or 3 each day. So, but you and I will get some time, and I got some business to do and run around a little bit. And I got some friends over the East Coast, and I'll be down there for 6 days. So, I mean,
So when do you think you're gonna come down here? You're gonna go here in the weekend or during the week or come to?
So next Wednesday, I'm gonna be there from Wednesday to the following Tuesday. So I'll be right through the weekend. I leave Tuesday to come back. So
All right. So whatever it is, I've been putting it together so that can't do it where I'm over here now because we have to have a different room with.
put it together, set it up. I'll be there.
Yeah. Be nice.
It's gonna be fun.
It will be fun.
I wonder how the dynamics are going to change at all. I'll tell you one thing: when you hit that da 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 da, I'm going to get it right because we're going to see no satellite delay, audio versus video.
So I was even thinking when we do this for the sponsor, because we didn't talk about the sponsor today. If she wanted to, you could just bring her in and say, "Hey, sponsor."